Whoa. Here we go, boys and girls. Welcome back to Southern Iowa. Good morning, everybody. Wade and I are going around in the go right here this morning to see what the field condition is here at my farm. Wayne had been out here with the rototiller, rototilling down the pattern tile. Then my dad yesterday came in here and hit it with the vertical tillage tool to try and get it laid up. Problem is that I still have terraces to build, so I can't plant this entire farm. And then also the 18 acres on the rows that run, we'll just say east and west, that's where my plot's going, and I don't have all my plot seed yet or all my plot seed treated, so I can't plant that either. But I can plant some parts of this farm, and I think that's what I'm going to try and get done today, because at about noon, according to weather, we're supposed to be getting rain. You can still feel where things kind of were. You can see where the strips were here. I can plant some of this today, Wayne. I can plant probably 15 or 20 acres, I bet. But let's jump into the main part of this video. If you guys didn't know, my name is Ben Van Rokel. I run this Iowan Farmer YouTube channel. Right now we are in planting season, and I'm taking you guys along on an everyday episode of what we do day to day during planting season. It's actually a very busy time for us as farmers. And to celebrate planting season, I've decided to give away one of these hats. No, it's the brown version of these hats. When we get to 2,000 likes on one of our planting vlogs, or when we reach 25,000 subscribers, which we're feverishly close to. But coming up soon, I'm gonna have to get Andrew up here with his high-tech planter, because where am I actually standing is what I call my fun plot. Last year I had corn in here, I had soybeans in here of different varieties. I had cereal rye, I had a cover crop plots, I had all the different cover crops. This plot right here is just things that I like to think about or maybe learn about. Right here, after I got done taking the corn off of last year, I actually came in here and hand spread out some rye. So the rye's coming up. I don't know if that looks good or not. I know nothing about a rye cover crop, so this is what I got right here. I do know that people that use rye as a cover crop, they either kill it off immediately and then plant into it. They plant into it green and then kill it off, or some of them even wait until it gets bigger and then plant into it so there's a lot of biomass. So I've got 3 strips in here that I can do, so I think I'm gonna do those 3 strips in my fun plot. Right here was where I tried to grow conventional corn. Well, don't try and grow conventional corn in a situation where you killed off sod and then plant into that. The grass is too bad and you can't spray with Roundup, so you get a lot of grass. So I ended up just killing off the conventional corn because it was just weeds essentially. But I did put in a cover crop in here, which I had tillage radishes. Oh yeah? Yeah.
You don't like it.
That's hot! I had oats, I had rye. The rye is obviously coming back. I had daikon radishes, did I say that? Yep, and turnips. And this had a lot of good growth last fall, and that's what it looks like right there. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually probably no-till some corn into this situation right here. And actually in that strip, there's 2 passes of that type of cover crop, so I might actually put a pass of corn in there, and then I also might put a pass of soybeans in a no-till situation, see what that kind of looks like. And then moving down the road here, this is where my GTLL or glyphosate and Liberty Ready beans were, because we plant a lot of dicamba beans, and my big plot is a dicamba plot, so Liberty and Roundup Ready beans do not get along with dicamba, so that's why these guys were put here. It was just kind of a show deal. But this spot now is opened up to put anything in here. I think I might put some corn in here and like absolutely pour the coals to it. Do everything that I can to try and see how big of ears, you know, how much yield potential I can get by absolutely babying it. I think the other thing that I might try and do, which might be kind of interesting, is I've heard this theory of 60-inch corn for cow-calf guys, where you put a cover crop in on 60-inch corn and then you still harvest off the corn, but then you have forage for your cattle afterwards. That could probably turn into a disaster, which is right next to the road, you know, so we still might try that. This end of the field here, I've kind of just let be for showing off the cover crops as they grow throughout the year, actually as they reach maturity and things like that. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there this year, but that's where I'll leave it open to you guys. I've heard one person already suggested that I should put canola in here. Well, I don't know if I can get a hold of canola seed, and I don't know what canola would do in our area, but this is all for just what we would plant as cover crops or anything else that I might want to see. Like I said, this is just my 3/4 of an acre playground where I play, and I put it next to the road so people can gawk. And there was some milo out there about 2 days ago until some man with a mower decided he didn't like my tall dead milo standing there, and fed it to a John Deere riding lawnmower. The weather stick's facing up, that's good. Coffee just wasn't kicking it here this morning, so I needed some orange juice. Oh look, I'm the first one here. That doesn't surprise me. I'm always the first one here. Not. I'm usually actually the last one here because I stop and chat with Wayne and drink my coffee, and then I realize that I'm already 10 minutes late from when I should have been here. That's really the way that it usually goes. And in terms of a sticker, the last video was posted, I don't know, Molly posted it probably somewhere around 9 o'clock last night. So it's got to be 24 hours before I can give away a sticker, but you can win a sticker in this video, like every video, by being my favorite comment within the first 24 hours. But speaking of the last video, I want to just say thank you to everybody that's offering their condolences in the comment section. That's really nice to see, and I appreciate it. The bushing kits that we did in that repair video that we got from Precision Planting Solutions are doing an awesome job. We are definitely going to be putting more of those bushings on this planter. It just probably won't be this season since it's busy now. Did you guys know that likes for the video equal back scratches for the Blue Heeler? You want some of your like back stretches? You got some in the bank. Am I the only farmer that ever feels like this time of year you have enough time to go home, fall asleep, literally contemplate taking a shower because you're too tired to take a shower, but you know you need to take a shower. Next thing you know, you're awake, drinking a little bit of coffee, and you're right back here. We're only gonna go plant like an acre, bud. I haven't forgot my lunch pail or my hydrangeas or nothing. Only an acre, only an acre. I will remember my lunch pail. I will remember my lunch pail. Try and get these small patches, which are also wet patches, planted out here this morning. Gonna leave the planter about empty. I think I have about 10 acres worth of beans on the planter, and I've got about 8 acres total in 3 different patches. But as far as I can tell, here's the way the day looks. We have probably about 30 acres of treated soybeans left. And with this 8 acres of soybeans, I'm gonna go plant these 8 acres out, and then I am going to end up going over to Wayne's. Well, Wayne's is my farm, I just call it Wayne's. And probably plant parts of that farm that are kind of ready to plant. I've kind of thought that maybe I'm gonna stay off of where I pattern tiled, let this rain that's coming rain on it again. That'll settle it out again and hopefully maybe fix things up a little bit more. Plus it could probably use rain on after it's been worked once now, and it's still in kind of rough shape. But we're gonna change our hybrid here again to 428 3-2 beans, which we've talked about in the past videos. Which here's our map so far. You can definitely tell it's starting to paint a picture. But planter down, let's get to it. Definitely these arms right here, they got a lot of wobble in them, and it's like when it hits the mud, it's just plowing up in here on this poor row unit. Okay, there we go. We're up and running again. We're gonna head to the next small patch. Andrew showed up here for work. He's gonna be my tender guy here again today. He's gonna have the soybeans in case I do run out or break something on the planter. Dad's gonna head out in the 9400 in the Landol vertical tillage tool. He's gonna head to my farm there. He's gonna till up some spots that I'm gonna try and plant a little bit later today, or as soon as I get done with these small patches. And then we're gonna switch to smoke. Here we go, boys and girls, let's get through her. Good deal. Here we go, up planting again. Down the only road we've ever known.
Don't plug up. Don't plug up. Oh, golly. It's just a guess, but I think we're going to have some emergence problems right here.
Good. Planting mud. And when you hear that beep when I just went through the mud, essentially the tires stop spinning on the back, and since it's ground driven, when the tires stop spinning on the back, it stops planting. So when then essentially you're dragging your planter through the mud and it's not planting anything. It'd be way better if like planter monitors were like the voice of like Morgan Freeman or something. I guess since we're done with the field here, I'll give a little talking point on this planter and how it kind of works. We've had a couple questions on that. The planter is completely controlled by this box right here. The markers, which we'll see outside, is this lever. The point rows are this lever. The rotate, raise, and all those functions are these two down here. They control electric solenoids that are on the planter that control on how you perform things, because you use the hydraulic remotes right here to control those, and they come out those hoses right down there. I think people call these center pivot planters. It's kind of a unique design to Kinze, as in it rotates, which you will see here in a time lapse in a few seconds. But when I was talking about markers, these here are the markers, the arms that fly out that create a path and tell you where to drive. But to fold this thing up and then unfold it is the exact opposite of it. The first thing you have to do is lock the wings. There are 3 sections of this planter: the outer wings, like this one and that one, and these arms right here, controlled by that black cylinder right there, allow the arm to flex up and down as you go across the contours of the field. And to put that back in the transport mode, you have to lock those wings in, which makes it rigid. And then you'll see that you extend the tongue pushes back, and then you raise the planter up into the air, and then right there is a hook. The hook hooks up there, comes back down, so it's a safety in the transport mode, and it's not just resting on the lift cylinders. And then on that silver square post that you guys see right there, the whole planter rotates. And I think I'm gonna dub this planter yoga. Down the road. So we're ready to start out here again. Dad's still working just right over the hill here. Wayne did some rototilling for me. He rototilled this up here, but sitting right here behind me is still terraces that need to be built. So I'm gonna have to do some patchwork here on this field. It's all fun and games here. We've got rain over the shoulder there. Let's see what we can get done. On today's menu, we have ham and cheese, courtesy of Lynn, Molly's mom, and Rusty probably. Sent us some ham, or gave Molly some ham to give to me, and now I'm gonna eat it. Which, speaking of, Molly's parents gave me for Christmas some Amish pickled eggs or whatever, and they were jalapeno, and I'd never had them before. I was kind of cautious about them. I was like, I don't know about that. And anyways, ate them, really liked them. Those jalapeno eggs and cottage cheese is kind of one of my snacks that I like. And then I found pickled beet eggs, and they're also delicious. So it's kind of a weird snack that I like to have in my lunches. You guys ever have weird things like this? Well, we're definitely dodging rain clouds here, but I have 22 acres of 48 on this piece here done. That's all I can really do. I've got the whole plot that's going to be going in right out here, so I can't do any of that, and there's 18 acres in there. And then if we kind of look at this here, right here on this map is going to be a terrace, and then all of this area here still needs terrace work done to it, and right there in this area is that field. So what I'm gonna do is lock this thing up. We're gonna call our quits on it. Then I'm gonna help pull across the street there. Dad's over there doing some tillage on where I fixed a couple of terraces for him. Looks like the no-till anhydrous bar is running where the corn plot is gonna be going. That's a good deal, must have dried out a little bit for him. And then we're gonna be hooking up to the smoke bar ourselves and probably start pulling anhydrous as long as we can dodge these rain clouds. But before I stop here for the day and suspend this event so I can open it up later, I want to come back to this guidance AB line, so I'm going to click the wrench right here. I'm going to save my guidance pattern. Here's where I can call it. It's like those are old patterns right there. We'll hit the X button. So what we're going to call this is the 228. There we go. North south, since this is a north south AB line, that's what I say. A, B, there we go. So then I'll be like, oh, there's the guidance pattern that I need, and the next time I come back to this field, I can pull that up nice and neat. Dad's across the road. He's over there trying to fill in some washouts. That vertical tillage tool doesn't do a great job of filling in washouts. I'm gonna hop in the skid steer track over there real quick, and then maybe be able to push in some dirt in some spots where, I mean, some 2-3 footers probably are. This one's bad right here, boys. Yes, it does appear that some of you are going to be getting your wishes. We're going to be pulling out the Kinze repowered 8630 here to hook it on to the anhydrous bar. Okay, now I got a whole bunch of hooking up to do. I got to put a Raven in here. I've got to put possibly a display in here. I've got to put the globe for the speed sensor for the Raven on the back in here. And then also hook up all the hydraulics. This is going to take a bit. We'll pick it up with you when we're done. What I'm doing is charging the bar. There's a bunch of smoke that's going to come out. Which means that we're now ready to pull on smoke. She don't like it. She don't like it. She don't like it. Notice how the engine doesn't even bog down, it just loses complete traction on this thing. Oh boys, this is bringing back some memories. It's like we're in the slow cooker now. The AC is not holding up with the engine temperature on this thing. We're riding a big old horsepower that's freaking kicking into this bad boy. First tank's empty. Gonna go change tanks. You gotta wear this stuff because this stuff will mess you up. Well guys, I just got hooked up here to another tank. sun is going down on us. Mother Nature was nice to us here today. She didn't rain us out. Hope maybe they took the rain out of the forecast for tomorrow. Who knows? We'll find out. But since we are going to be running out of sunlight on us here today, I'm going to call it a day with you guys. I'm going to sit here and enjoy the purr of the big old Cummins and see if we can get some more smoke pulled in the ground here tonight. And like always, thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Morgan Freeman would be like, at the beginning of time. That is, I can't do a Morgan Freeman. How do you do a Morgan Freeman? I don't know how you do it, Morgan Freeman. You could be Matthew McConaughey. Alright, the beans aren't going in the ground. That's really bad too. I don't know if I can do any celebrity impersonations.